Hi there and welcome back to Public Speaking. My name is Fran and this is chapter number 4, preparation of the material and preparation of your actual presentation of public speech. For some reasons, most of the people don't prepare enough. They either overestimate their abilities to wing it, or they underestimate the time necessary for the preparation. So this is their golden rule halfway there. Let's say today is a Wednesday and we said that the next Saturday we will have a workshop and you have to prepare, let's say, 5 different presentations or public speeches. For the first 5 days you will do absolutely nothing, and then you will say, well, I still have 5 more days, and for 2 or 3 days you would probably do nothing also. So then comes Friday evening and then you panically start preparing for Saturday morning. And it's so often that people do this. This is a black and white world. Professionals prepare and amateurs don't. When you think about your presentation, your public speaking, and when you start preparing, the first question is you have to ask yourself, what's the purpose? What do I want to achieve? What value for audience do I want to create? What's there for them to learn, what they need to hear, and what emotions or conclusions they have to go out with. So take a piece of paper, put away all the distractions, cell phone, computer, everything, and then everything that comes to your mind just put on the paper. So you can make a list. I don't like making actual lists because lists are one-dimensional. I like doing mind map. So when I was thinking about how to do this video tutorial, I took a mind map and everything I put on it. Then when you're done with it, when you put all the ideas on, then you start the process of what's called bricking. You actually start now putting the house together in some sort of a logical sense. You will have your introduction, of course, and you will have your ending, and then you will logically structure how you want to do it. And if you put that in the little rectangulars, you will always be able to visually see how your presentation will look like to the audience. When you are done that, there are like 2 great advices what you can do. The first one, it's called prep formula, and in the book Speak to Win, it's mentioned, and it's a beautiful part. It's a logical loop that you can put inside of each brick. And why it's called prep. The first is like point of view, and you say, I believe that for any professional, the skill of public speaking is so crucial. Then you would give the reason. Well, the reason is because people who are skillful at public speaking are regarded as more competent and smarter. Then you would give example. Well, there was this guy who had no skill except public speaking, and he was just advancing through the company. And then again, you would give your point of view. That's why I think that if you put your time and energy in mastering the skill, the return on investment will pay you huge dividends. When you prepare your presentation or public speech, you have to take in balance what we call the left and right brain hemisphere. You know, the linear one and the holistic one. If you're giving a lot of information to your audience, you will wear them down. They will not be able to process it correctly after some time. So you have to also stimulate their right brain hemisphere. And you do it through telling stories or giving motivational quotes or showing them pictures, graphicons, or whatever will stimulate right brain hemisphere. Another thing that you can do in the end, and real professionals actually do it, is to make a flowchart of your public presentation or speech. Flowchart has a very distinguished reason why you want to do it. Because when you're doing a flowchart, you can actually time yourself. If you have 15 minutes for your presentation, that's 900 seconds. That's not something between 10 and 20 minutes. You have to be very careful about the time, and you always have to respect the time you got. And when you put it in a flow chart, then you can actually measure your time when you're practicing at home and see if you're coming behind, you can speed up or you can skip some points. When we speak also about the flow chart, we can use it to put inside the pauses. We have to use the pauses in our speech. Well, there are a couple of reasons why. First, the pauses are polite. We have to give audience an opportunity to process what we actually said. So after a couple of sentences, we make a pause. Well, the second reason is pauses allow us to gather our mind what we want to say in the next sentence. So if you use a pause, you will not be speaking something like or you know, or anything that's not appropriate. Another reason why we use pauses is because with the pause, we can actually manage expectations and emotions of the public. So we here have something that's called empathetic pause. If you're speaking about something hugely emotional, you would make a larger pause. Usually the pause, like a normal pause, it's 3 seconds. And now we come here to the problem that this is a skill and relativity of the time. You know that half an hour with a beautiful girl is not as the same as half an hour sitting on a hot stove. And there is no any book or video tutorial that can teach you what is a 3 seconds when you're standing here. Because if you have an anxiety or if you have a fear, you will speed up. So you have to actually practice as much as you can your pauses so you would understand that 3 seconds is nothing for your audience. And it's so nice and it's so polite. And when actual speaker or presenter uses pauses, he leaves such a great impression on his audience. Thank you.